Many Canon customers have been waiting for a very, very long time for the Canon EOS R5 Mark II and the Canon EOS R1. So long, in fact, that they're ready to go Hulk on any false or contradicting rumors. But it looks like Panasonic might beat Canon to the next camera announcement. Thanks to a tweet from How to Fly, we can look to May the 23rd, 2024 for the next Panasonic announcement. How to Fly says it could be plus or minus 1 day, and that's most likely due to the, well, international dateline, as we don't know if that's May the 23rd Japanese local time, or New York time, or even European time. So would you like to know which Panasonic camera we're going to get announced on the 23rd? Well, sadly, How to Fly didn't tell us any of that information, but we do have an idea. The Panasonic S5 Mark II and the 2X were announced last January with a new phase detect autofocus system and a big cause for celebration, bringing fast, reliable, and accurate autofocus to the S5. Much better than that contrast detect autofocus system. Now, countless rumors have indicated that the S1, the S1R, and the S1H could be refreshed next. Considering that the S1 and the S1R were released back in early 2019, they're top candidates and long overdue. And according to L Rumors, from what I know so far, it's full frame, although it's a fixed lens, but will be available in multiple different colors. The price point is attractive, at least when compared to the, well, little competition in this niche. And that? Well, that was dated April the 30th, just 2 weeks ago by Andrea Pizzini. Oh boy, a fixed lens camera. That means no S1R, no S1 or S1H Mark II, at least according to what Andrea Pizzini's saying. That would test the patience of a lot of people. Now, a lot of people are getting very frustrated due to the lack of any sort of teasers or information regarding the Canon EOS R5 Mark II or the Canon EOS R1. And both of those cameras, well, they're due to be refreshed every 4 years, and, well, we're coming up to that 4-year mark. But to imagine waiting the better part of 6 years, 5.5 years already, for the S1, the S1R successor, wow, that would certainly test my patience. What about yours? Are you feeling frustrated by this long delay? That's assuming that we're getting a fixed lens camera. But could Andrea Pizzini get it wrong here? Might we see an S1, an S1R, or an S1H Mark II? Well, the problem with rumors about the S1, the S1R, and the S1H Mark II is that they've been unreliable to the point where I'm not even going to bother getting into the specifications. But the latest on the grapevine did indicate that the next S-series camera due for a refresh is actually the S1R in the S1R Mark II. But again, I'm not going to delve into the leaked specifications because, well, they're not valid. Well, they're not reliable, and I don't want to go off talking specifications unless there's a chance, a snowball's chance in hell at least, of giving us something a little bit more reliable, a little bit more accurate, something that we could sort of hang our hopes on, because after 5.5 years, it is getting a little bit frustrating. And another reason I feel your pain is, since the S1 and the S1R were released back in 2019, the competition has left Panasonic far behind, offering 45 to 61 megapixel sensors, frame rates of up to 40 frames per second, and of course when it comes to video, a strong point of the Panasonic Lumix cameras, we can now get up to 8K at 60 frames per second. Canon now offers false colors in the Canon EOS R6 Mark II. Nikon, well, they're getting Apple ProRes, and the R5C, well, it delivers waveforms, and they stay on the screen even while recording. To see the competition getting features that were the domain of only Panasonic, and for many years, we were willing to put up with that contrast detect autofocus system because, well, we got all these other benefits that when shooting video, well, they were second to none, so we got used to shooting with manual. But when we see the competition not only improve their autofocus system, but offer a lot of the video capabilities that used to be the only domain of Panasonic Lumix cameras, well, it makes us wondering where on earth is the S1, the S1R, and the S1H Mark II. And if you're tired of waiting, then I want you to take a look at these deals. The Canon EOS R6 Mark II that I just talked about, best price ever at $500 off. The Canon EOS R5 Mark I, $1,000 off its new price of $28.99. And take a look at these deals. The Canon EOS R5C, the R8, the R50, but look what Nikon's offering with the Nikon Z8. $500 off. the Nikon Z7 Mark II, the Nikon Z6 Mark II, the D850. There are some really incredible sales to be had out there. And I get it. I know you're a long-time Panasonic customer and you want to stick to Panasonic, but there is a hint of good news here. Take a look at the sale on the Panasonic S5 Mark IIX with the double lens zoom kit for $600 off at $2348. But if we take a look at the S1H, the S1R, and the S1, not a single dollar off. But take a look at this. This is something very interesting, and we've seen this for the better part of a month now. Did you notice that the S1R and the S1H are both now classified as a special offer purchase? That's pretty significant, because what that means is either they can't produce enough cameras, which is highly unlikely, at least here in 2024. What it really points towards is that they've drawn down the inventory to the point where they've only got a select few for people who absolutely need them, and that they are getting ready for a major refresh of, well, the S1H Mark II. Now, they might combine the S1 and the S1R into a single camera, and this makes sense if you look at the competition. Look at the Nikon Z8. It has better video and stills capabilities than any of the Panasonic Lumix cameras to date. Now, granted, some of the video capabilities aren't there, but, well, it shows that Panasonic could take the successor to the S1R and the S1 and just make it a single camera, a new camera that, well, combines those two. And that would at least make sense based on some of the rumors saying that, well, Panasonic is coming out with a new bold camera. And it makes sense to combine those two together. And holding on to that bit of hope would be great. And if this May the 23rd announcement is just a fixed lens camera, then I understand your frustration. And I can imagine some Lumix customers are going to say, that's it, I've had it, I'm done. It's time to move over to, well, Nikon, the Z8, or Canon, the R5 Mark I, or maybe even a Sony. But unfortunately right now, Sony doesn't have any discounts, at least as of time of recording on Friday night. Now, there may be some Saturday morning, but new sales will start Sunday, so maybe. But in the last 3 to 4 years, I've only seen the A7S III, the A7R5, the A7 IV, the FX3, the FX30 go on sale really once with significant sales of $200 to $300 off. All the big deals right now, all the big sales, are essentially on Canon and Nikon cameras. So let's just wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But all these sales on Canon and Nikon cameras, well, they've been on for a very long time, and they're only getting better. Canon is supposed to be refreshing the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, although it's supposed to be on the 15th, according to Canon rumors, based on a tweet, and I'm not buying it. Based on what's going on, the lack of information, the lack of absolutely anything, unless we get anything leaked this weekend, I'm thinking it's going to be much later into May, maybe the 23rd, maybe the 22nd, or even the 21st. We'll just have to wait and see. But one thing, if you can do me a favor here, if you are interested in purchasing any of the camera gear, lenses, or accessories that I talked about in this video, please consider using my affiliate links in the description down below. These guys right here. So if you're going to be purchasing from Adorama or B&H or even Amazon, I get a commission of anywhere from 2 to 12% back, and that really does help support this channel. You don't have to put in any special codes, go to a special website. It's just the standard website. But by using my link, I get a small commission back. And it's the best way to support this channel without it costing you anything. You get to buy yourself something nice, and I get a small commission. And if you do that, let me know in the comment section down below so I can thank you. And thanks to everybody that has made purchases this month. It's very much appreciated. Now, with everything going on in the camera world these days, I don't know what's going on lately. We were supposed to get a lot of announcement earlier on this year, and that just hasn't happened from Sony, from Nikon, from Canon. Everything, for some reason, is getting delayed, and we're not being told much. Now, the R1, we were told that it was due to some performance issues. We weren't given a whole lot of details, but in a way, I'd rather see these things delayed and then put out really solid cameras, and then when we get a firmware update, we're looking at new enhancements instead of fixing our bricked camera. Anyhow, a big thank you for watching. Sorry I got this video out late, but I had some car problems today. Not really car problems, because my car was stolen a few weeks back. Remember that? I got a new camera. I got a new car, and I decided to put in a kill switch in it. And whenever you go ahead and do something and you've got a tight timeline, what happens? Well, there's always issues. And the the computers through a few error codes, which everything was resolved. The company I was dealing with, they were absolutely terrific. It's all about, don't worry, we're going to take care of this, sir. You know, it's, don't worry. You know, that kind of small business where, you know what, problems happen. And that to me is something very, very big and important. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes, but the sign of a really good business is not whether they make mistakes or not, but how they resolve them when they happen. So long story short, I'm recording this video because I got the car back. Unfortunately, I missed my rehab session, my physio session, and I really do miss those. Normally, I would be there right now in pain. I'd probably be leaving right about now on my way home, and then I'd just crash on the couch because I'm purely exhausted. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying right to the end and enjoying my last little bit of a rant. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you again soon.